Welcome back to our coverage of RPM TV's top 10 cars of 2012. Earlier in the year, VW celebrated the 35th anniversary of a legendary name. In 1976, a car came along that changed a lot, apparently. Although, contrary to popular belief, the original Golf wasn't the first hatchback, and the GTI, all 81 kilowatts of it, wasn't the first hot hatch. What it was, though, was the first small practical car that offered real performance, and it sparked an arms race that's now the better part of 3 decades old. To celebrate 35 years of its existence, Volkswagen released the imaginatively titled GTI Edition 35, a slightly tweaked version of the GTI, although there's not much on the outside to tell you that, besides the LED taillights, the 18-inch wheels, and the 35 badge. Where it does get a bit shouty is on the interior. The big bucket seats are finished in a custom upholstery and they've got 35 emblazoned across them. I presume that's to match the 35 on the dorsal. The gear shift is based on the original golf ball design, and there's red stitching and black inserts just about everywhere. And if describing all of that makes it sound a little cheesy, well, in reality, it surprisingly isn't. With 173 kilowatts and a 6.6 second 0 to 100 time, this top GTI may not top its rivals, but it feels fantastic, delivering power, grip and enjoyment in equal measure. At this point, I'd like to complain. I'm not sure why Volkswagen waited for a special occasion to release a GTI with the spec of this car, but I'm glad they finally have. It's more powerful, it's quicker and it's more involving. And Edition 35 is what Golf 6 GTI should have been from the very start. Its uprated turbo is matched to a superb 6-speed manual gearbox and electronic diff lock, giving the GTI 35 all-round talent in town and on roads that offer a challenge.
It's taken a fair amount of time and a keener pricing strategy to persuade people that the Fiat 500 is a fun and funky commuter and not just a corny automotive fashion accessory with a limited shelf life. No wonder then that we're seeing more and more Fiat 500s on our roads, but not all 500s are created equal.
The Abarth SS shares the standard Abarth's exterior, which means it gets bigger wheels with fatter rubber and a body kit that adds some muscle to the Sweetie Pie design, including a deeper front air dam and additional cooling slots.
You need to open the bonnet to find out more about the SS story. The engine is still a 1.4-litre turbocharged unit, but the boost has been upped and power now moves from 99 kilowatts to 118 kilowatts. Torque, 206 newton meters to 230 newton meters. That's 19% more power and 12% more torque.
The extra urge of the SS is essentially achieved via a bolt-on kit and can even be installed up to 10,000 kilometers after initial purchase.
The SS sounds gruff and purposeful with a snap, crackle, pop exhaust note that's more race car than road commuter. The ride is a bit on the bouncy side, mainly because of the short wheelbase, but there's a surprising amount of grip, and there's no body roll to speak of because of the lowered Koni suspension. The Fiat 500 Abarth SS is not your average Fiat 500, and we also know that special talents come at a special price. Given that the baseline Fiat 500 costs 126,000 Rand, the 267,000 Rand price tag for the SS seems a little bit on the steep side. However, I also think that people who are going to buy this car are not going to worry too much about the price tag. They're buying it for its unusual personality and its unusual dynamics. Plus, in terms of fun per rand terms, it's actually pretty decent value.
Don't be fooled by the size or the cuteness. More boost, a better chassis and bigger brakes ensure that the Abarth SS is the real pocket rocket deal.
We're very used to the idea of manufacturers creating special versions of their cars. BMW's M Division, Mercedes-Benz AMG, Audi S cars, or Volkswagen R. But all of those cars have one thing in common. They concentrate on the performance aspect. There's only one manufacturer that makes its special edition cars comprehensively different from the models on which they're based. That manufacturer is Citroën, and the car's DS. There's nothing on the road that pushes design boundaries more than this French artwork called the DS5. It immediately stands out as something unique, but without being a show-off, it's just an amazingly crafted piece of automobile that looks a decade ahead of everything else on the road. Even those things that could be pointed out as odd, like the immense chrome strip that runs along the bonnet to the A-pillar, or the spoiler that's mounted halfway up the rear windscreen, don't seem to be anything other than little accents that add to the whole effect. Like the outside, there's a lot going on in the cabin. Things like the storage bits above your head, the switchgear, the aluminium, the LED lighting, and the incredibly crafted seats with their watch strap design. At 396,000 Rand for this sport model, the DS5 has a lot of competition. 400,000 Rand will get you a decent package from most manufacturers, but there's one thing that nobody else can offer at this price. A car that looks like that. The DS5 delivers a drive that's comparable to just about anything else at the price. It's got the safety and the technology and the convenience to match as well. But there's one area where it absolutely towers above everything else, and that's individuality and a sense of real style. It may not be your cup of tea, but as far as I'm concerned, I'll take mine in black. As far as driving goes, the DS5 is comparable to anything in its class, although it suffers from over-assisted steering, but there's nothing to touch its style, both inside and out.
Motorsport and affordability appear to be mutually exclusive concepts, and in fact, when costs get prohibitive, the motorsport dreams end for many a budding racing star. Now, Legends Racing has a concept that might link affordability to close and exciting racing, and we at Rock Racing to find out exactly how that's going to be done.
Legends Racing is an internationally recognized motorsport formula that focuses on driving talent and racecraft rather than technical complexity and unnecessary sophistication. You'll find these quaint retro-styled single-seaters being campaigned in dedicated one-make racing series around the world. Because the cars are identical, irrespective of country, it's easy to compete both locally and globally. It also means that the emphasis is on the skill of the driver rather than the technical superiority of one car over another. The result is very closely matched racing. Under the plastic body panels, you'll find a robust tubular frame chassis with a 1.2-litre Yamaha motorcycle engine bolted into the nose. The 13-inch wheels run road rubber and drive is to the rear wheels. The price of a turnkey car without any of the fancier options comes to about 135,000 Rand depending on the exchange rate. Running costs are low. For instance, a set of tyres will last an entire racing season, unless of course you burn rubber for the cameras, as local Legends mastermind Kevin Hepburn demonstrates.
You would really need to spend a bit of time on this car to get used to it, but that's what it's all about. It's all about training people how to race properly, and this is probably the perfect vehicle for just that.
A superior power-to-weight ratio translates into exciting performance on an affordable budget. This is entry-level motorsport at its very best.
And on that racy note, we'd like to wish all our viewers a safe and relaxing festive season, and all of the very best for 2013. We'll be back in mid-January with more motoring action, from exotics to budget beaters, from SUVs to hot hatches.
You can still join our weekly RPM TV mailing list by emailing us at info@rpmtv.co.za or follow us on Twitter.